Anthony Fauci is the subject of conversation. I think he loves that. We'll be talking about that later on in the show. But let's listen to him. He was speaking to The Atlantic about COVID-related issues. Let's listen to what he had to say, and I'm going to assess it, and we're going to break it down.
Feel as a physician and as a scientist and a public health person that I think it is not entirely correct to make this very strong gap and dichotomy between waning immunity that gets you waning for protection against hospitalization and death, and waning immunity against infection, mild to moderate disease. It is an assumption that is okay to get infected and to get mild and moderate disease as long as you don't wind up in the hospital and die. And I have to be open and honest. I reject that.
Okay, all right, let's stop that right there. This is a man that has obviously been in this public sphere, in his position, for a very long time. I don't think people understand how old Fauci is. He's like 80 fucking years old. This guy's been around for a very long time, and he's been working in public health for a very long time. Think about what he just said. He just said he rejected something that has been a part of human history and forever. You know what I mean? Like, that's been a part of us and be a part of our immune system. And he is upset, or he is rejecting an idea, which he can't do that. I don't care that you guys have given them the crown in order to make decisions on behalf of millions of people. That's arbitrary. That's artificial. Illegitimately claimed. He is saying that he rejects something that has been a part of us forever. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But this is a guy who claims to, of course, value public health or health in general, science, doctor, whatever, medical doctorate, whatever it is. And he is saying that he rejects you getting an illness and not getting in the hospital, and he rejects that's like okay. Before I finish, because I'm going to grill this motherfucking idiot. Before I finish, let's let him finish.
I think we should be preventing people from getting sick from COVID, even if they don't wind up in the hospital. And somebody can say, well, wait a minute, you're talking from both sides. No, you can support something that's done given the current information. And I think given the current information about waning immunity for hospitalization and waning immunity and looking at the safety issues that...
they stopped the video there. The Atlantic did. So all that waning immunity shit is nonsense. What he is suggesting is that, of course, we need to, of course, listen to him. People are getting recovering naturally, which is so many people, by the way, is a problem, at least as far as he is concerned. And he is saying that he rejects this and that we should be preventing it, as if we can even do that, number one, but we should be preventing it regardless. Now, again, I want you to understand how insane that is, even for you guys who have grew up in the era that I grew up, because, of course, I grew up in the era of chickenpox parties. They wanted you to get it. Your parents wanted you to get it. And so if they found out that someone was at school, daycare, or whatever it is, that had the chickenpox, we were going to go meet up so you can fucking get it and get out of the way and become immune to it. This was something that we used to do. Now, I'm not going around suggesting that people go do that, nor am I suggesting that there aren't varying diseases that, of course, you're going to be handling them a lot worse than chickenpox, let's say that. But we're talking about COVIDs here, something with a 99% survival rate for most demographics, age, health demographics, and natural immunity is a real thing. And there are people, young folk especially, my age and younger, who are, for the most part, going to get it and never are going to see the hospital, never going to, we might get mild symptoms, if any. And that's the experience for most people that are in my position. That's just the reality. That's not to say that there aren't people that are outliers. I'm just giving you the reality. Now, yes, because of the experimental vaccinations and all of that, there are going to be people that look at that. If they're in that health and age demographic, and they're going to weigh their options, they're going to say, I can build natural immunity. There are folks that are out there that are it's not that they're going out their way to get it. It's more of assessing the risk. If I do get it, because of these studies that are coming out of like Israel and all of that, and considering my age and health demographic, it may just make more sense for me to just say, fuck it. And if I get it, I get it. But I don't know about lining up to go get and that's of course their right to decide. But rejecting that from public health stance and acting as if you can prevent every single illness in the first place, or that's even something worth striving for, considering how infectious they claim this to be, is insane. You're not going to get rid of this. Some of y'all are starting to concede that, but this idea is like zero COVID shit was a pipe dream, man. So they've now moved on to 2 weeks to slow the spread, which, by the way, I just want to reiterate this. This whole slow the spread stuff had nothing to do with stopping people from getting COVID. Nothing. And this was obviously prior to a vaccination. It had everything to do with spreading it out over time, not stopping people from getting it all together. The idea was to spread it out over time so that you didn't overwhelm your hospitals. So the number of people that were going to get it were always the number of people. That was the whole point of that whole slow to spread shit, right? That's what that was about. Now they've switched to, well, we need to prevent all illnesses all the time, which is insane. We don't apply that to anything else. Why we're applying this to COVID is utterly ridiculous. And even so, when you look at the measures that they're talking about and discussing, it's not like it just prevents you. You can't even call them breakthrough cases anymore because they happen so often. You get some pockets where the vast majority of their hospitalizations, because they have high vaccination rates, so it makes more sense from a math perspective, but like they're still having hospitalizations from people that are fully vaccinated. This COVID zero stuff is nonsense, man. Yet you have a public health experts trying to reject natural immunity or the idea that people just look, I'll get sick if I get sick and I'll get a mild case potentially, but I'll recover and be fine. This idea that you have to prevent everything is just insane. It's insane. We don't apply it to anything else, and life would be severely inconvenient if every individual did that and was trying to prevent all illnesses everywhere. That's insane. It's insane. But because he's saying it, people are going to, hey, Fauci said it, so it must be gospel. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.